Welcome to the Friday night raffle for this week, grand final week. And what a game it's going to be tomorrow. Hopefully the Cats will get up over the Tigers. It's obviously a big sporting week in Melbourne this week with the Cox Plate tomorrow as well. And then obviously the mighty Storm will hopefully get over the Panthers on Sunday night. Last week we had Ralphie Horowitz. I think we probably give him a pass for last week. He in the 4 tips he gave us in the Caulfield Cup, he actually picked the Quadella. So we'll go all right. Obviously, his first tip in Master of Wine did run down the track a little bit, but obviously the winner and the second horse were in his 4, and he got the bloody Everest completely wrong. So Nature Strip was no good. But we'll give him a pass, and hopefully we'll get him back. I'll try and get him back for Derby Day to see if we can get a tip over the carnival. I hope everyone was able to get on the website and YouTube and have a look at Andrew Shooter's interview last week. I had a really great time interviewing Shoes, and it's a great interview. So if you haven't seen it, just jump on the club website and have a look. And we're back to golf. Dan finally gave us a game of golf, and I got out there today, and I am sore. I think I'll be having a bath straight after the draw, watching the races in the bath for sure. We've got a great show tonight. We've got the skipper. We'll get him on in a second to give us our director's update. I've done an interview with Barry Cameron about his time at the Tigers, which is great listening. And we've got a bunch of lunatics, I would say, that are going to play 54 holes in a day for charity, and we'll get a bit of an understanding of what that's all about when we're on. So I'll get Chris into the broadcast. How are you, mate?
Hi, Mossy. Good, thanks. You?
Going really well, mate. Have you had a hit yet?
Quick 9 this morning. Yeah, same as you. Very stiff.
Very good. So what do you got us for the bit of a director's update, mate?
Okay, reasonably brief. The best thing is that we're back playing, so welcome back to everybody. Big vote of thanks to all the members, because Russell and Heath have reported that everybody's really doing the right thing with the bookings, and thereby they're looking after their fellow members getting a game. So that's been marvellous. The course is fantastic. I only saw 9 this morning, but there's a few major changes. Obviously, the opening up of the vistas through the creek, I reckon, are terrific. And Josh is also probably one of the other major things that has occurred, apart from losing a few trees, is repairing a lot of bare turf areas around the place. And look, that's only going to get better, because we haven't really had any high temperatures or any warming up of the ground yet. So we've got a lot to look forward to if we get some more good news this weekend. Look, I didn't think I was missing my golf until I had a crack this morning, and then I realised that I had. But one bloke, I reckon, I had a hit with this bloke this morning, and he told me a story, and I reckon, how would you be if your last shot before the lockdown, before the 3-month lockdown, was a hole-in-one? I reckon that'd be a good way to get through that period. So I'll let you guys, he didn't want me to say anything, so I'll let you guys look up and see who that was. Initials JT. Now, on a serious note, obviously, the government position is still extremely fluid. Just be aware that the club will definitely send another email on Sunday by 3 p.m, as long as Dan doesn't go too long. And that'll advise of any changes to our rules and regulations pertaining to golf. And it'll advise of the new next week's timesheet opening time. So everybody be aware to look for that on Sunday. That's about all I've got, Mossy, so we might leave it there. Was that long enough?
Not really. Jeez.
Well, you haven't commented on my tie.
I thought we were paying you more than that to come on tonight. So, yeah, come on. Why are you so dressed up? This is Box Hill, not Metropolitan.
Well, it could be a job interview. No, I thought I'd just try something different. So I'm rocking the Box Hill Golfing Polo with the Golf Society of Australia tie. Now, I think it's a long bow, but what do you reckon? Do you reckon I've pulled it off or not?
Looks all right to me, mate. I thought it was Hepburn Football Club, to be honest, where my old man used to play. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, Dad grew up in Hepburn, so that's their colours, the old Boroughs. It's very similar to Port Melbourne's jumper.
I've played that course a number of times. My brother actually did a bit of work on a lot of the holes there, so know it reasonably well.
Yeah, I grew up doing school holidays over at Grandma's and played a lot of golf there. I enjoyed the course today, Chris. The fairways are in pure nick. The greens, I think once we get through this weekend with the weather, Josh has got a great cover of grass on them, and I'm sure he'll trim them down and quick them up over the next couple of weeks. But I did play behind our club champion today, and at one stage he was 3 under and he'd missed 3 3-foot putts. So he was in reasonable form for someone that hasn't played golf for a while.
Well, I was there yesterday, not playing, but I was doing a bit of gardening and I saw him out there yesterday as well. So that's very interesting.
Obviously not working, nothing to do, and he's got straight back into the swing of things. The break might have been good because he was playing very ordinary. I think I took $20 off him before we finished up for the break. So I don't think I'll be playing him for money at the moment the way I travelled around today. So, hey, look, right. Thanks, mate. We'll obviously have you back for the raffle, and now I'm going to try something that didn't work last week and play a video. So let's see how we go.
You'll be right.
So yeah, today I went down to the club. Obviously, I had a hit, and I caught up with Barry Cameron. And let me just bring this up and see if this will work. It was great to catch up with Barry, one of the gentlemen of our club. And let me just... Right, I obviously haven't got it quite right yet. Give me 1 second here. I think I can work out what I did wrong, and we'll get that back up again. So I pretty much know I didn't tick the right box again. So let's try one more go here, see how we go this time. Members draw. This week I've got Barry Cameron, a great member of our club and ex-Richmond player, obviously on the eve of the grand final. So we thought we'd have a bit of a chat with Baz. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thanks, Bussy. Thank you.
No worries. So maybe start off. How long have you been a member at the golf club for?
I'd be about 25, 26 years, I suppose.
Yeah. It's going back a few
years. Yeah, going back. Yeah, I used to laugh at the blokes who were over 80, but now I'm one of them.
Have you had a hit since we've had a lockdown?
Yeah, I had a hit on Tuesday, and I was glad to finish 12 holes.
Yeah. Now, little story, Bertie. Tommy, how'd you go for your first hit for after lockdown?
Well, we all had went off the first, and I hit mine pretty well, I thought, but it was off the toe, hit the tree, into the big gum tree, and then into the creek.
So you lost the ball.
Lost the ball
first shot. Well, there you go. Welcome back to golf. So, and over the 25, 26 years, you would have seen a fair few changes here, I think.
The course, when I first came, the course out the back hadn't opened, and there was a lot of work went on out the back, and it was it's just made a hell of a difference to it. And the coring of the course used to be virtually every third or fourth week they try and get, because it used to flood so much. So now we don't have to worry too much about that. And the course itself, when we changed to Cooch, it's made a hell of a difference. And people used to laugh about it, about our course. So I'd love to come back now and play it.
Yeah, we see it from when we played Pennant or local,
yeah.
when you get people from other courses, they love playing here compared to what it was a few years, many years ago.
Yeah.
So getting into the footy, we've obviously got a big game tomorrow night, obviously a night grand final, and your Tigers have obviously been performing well enough to get in again.
Yeah, they have. They've had an up and down season, few injuries, but it's just one of those years that whoever wins it really deserves to win it. And Geelong are playing fantastic footy, so hopefully it doesn't rain. I heard Neil Mitchell this morning say that it's going to be thunder and lightning. Well, if the lightning comes, well, they'll have to go off the ground for a while until that storm passes, because they won't play.
That just
lightning.
that'll be another fitting, I reckon.
Yeah.
They'll go off.
Yeah.
We'll have to come back next week.
Yeah, that's right.
It'll be just a story of 2020 for sure.
Yeah. Well, I would hope that it's a fine day, because then there's no excuse for any side. And
No.
I think the best two sides are playing at the moment.
Well, I agree with you. I think Richmond and Geelong have probably performed well at the back end of the season, as well as anyone. I think Brisbane and Port obviously had good years, but
they had really good years, and Brisbane should be proud of themselves. And Port probably, they had everything in their favour. They at least played some home games, so but they still had a very good year.
Yeah.
As well.
So take us back. What years did you play at Richmond?
I started in 1959 and played 8 seasons to the end of 66. When I first started, I originally started at East Sandringham, and that was a junior side that just pumped out really good players all the way through. Judd was one, Rossi Smith's another one, and then we won the under 16s flag 2 years in a row. Then we went to Hampton Scouts, which is now called Hampton Rovers. It was made up of the first Hampton and second Hampton Scout groups originally, and the under 19s were called the Hampton Scouts. The open age was Hampton Rovers. And there was a list in the paper the other day of people who have come from Hampton Rovers. Well, there were 5 of us went down to Richmond for 1 year. We were all invited down. That was in 1959, and 4 of us made the lists. One fellow who was probably the best of the lot of us did his knee. And so from then on, and I played the first 3 games in the seconds that year, and there were only 18 games. So and then I played the last 15 in the first. And that was playing with Roy Wright, who was an out-and-out champion, Gil Brownline medalist, and then Ron Bratton took over from captaincy. Roy hit his knee about 3/4 of the way through the season and gave it away. Then we had a pretty ordinary year. I had a very ordinary year in 1960. 61 was okay. And we started improving from there on. And the last 2 years I played every game except 3 on both occasions. I had a real problem with my hamstring. And I said, look, I just want to get out, make some money, because there was no money in it. No. I played 105 games over the 8 seasons, and I probably missed about 20 and played another 30 in the seconds when you come back in. And I just said, look, I can get some more money. And I had a young family. I wanted to get out, so I was captain coach of Burwood, appointed captain coach of Burwood. So I did that for 4 years, made a bit of money. Made more money in the first year than I did playing 8 seasons. because there was no
Makes
money.
sense.
Yeah.
So through those years at Richmond, what sort of success did you have as a team?
For the first 4 seasons, we were pretty ordinary. We were hanging around because there were 12 sides. Then we were hanging around 8th, 9th, and one season we finished on the bottom. And that was under Des Rowe, and Des got the flick, and Len Smith was appointed coach, and he was the best coach I ever played under. And but unfortunately, he had a heart attack in his first year, so he gave it away. But he was a mentor for Tommy Hakey in his first year at Richmond. And I was wrapped that Tommy came because we used to play practice matches at the start of the season. It was probables versus the possibles. And the first year I played fullback in my own main practice match there. And I played alongside Tommy. And Tommy just walked with me all the way up the ground, sat next to me before the game and after the game, just helping me all the way through. And I thought, this is good. I'll get a few games in the seconds and I'll be playing alongside Tommy. Tommy got the flick. And the way that he found out about it was reading in the paper on the Monday, because there were no Sunday papers then. So he read about it in the paper that he was off the list, and I read about it that I was on the list. And that's just the way that it happened there.
Yeah.
So it's much more professional now, thank goodness.
And what about you? Obviously, you played in a great era of some great players. Who were some of the great opponents you played against?
The bloke that I could never, ever get on top of was Hassan Mann from Melbourne. He was a fabulous player. Well, he finished up captain and all Australian, so he was a pretty good player. But I played against Teddy Whitten. Teddy Whitten, one day we were playing out of Footscray. I was playing on 10. I was playing centre half forward, and he was playing centre half back. And I was playing centre half back. He was playing centre half forward. And out at Footscray, when it rained, it used to block up on the outer flank, and water used to get probably 18 inches deep because it just wouldn't drain away. And the ball came down, and I was on the right side of Ted, and the ball was kicked my side, and here's the ball just wobbling around on top of the water. So I ran, and I had the brake on him, and I started to trip and feet hit the water. I'm stumbling, and Ted just fell on top of me and just held my head under. And then he dragged me up, and I'm spitting out mud and everything. I got the free kick. I had to try and go back in the water. If you try and kick water out of foot deep, or kick a ball out of foot deep water, that's just impossible.
Yeah.
But he was a favourite player. Ron Barassi played on folks I played with, Royce Hart didn't come until he played in the third my last year.
Yeah.
And you could just see he was now.
He was good then.
Oh, yeah. And Ray Jordan kept him down in the third, said, no, he's not right. Anyway, he finished up. He played in the second grand final and won the game for Richmond. So that same year. But he was an out-and-out star. Ronnie Brand was a great player. He was a terrific player. Roger Dean, I believe, was the best player, pound for pound, that played with Richmond.
Yeah, right.
He was tough, and he just got the ball.
And what about the games? Obviously evolved over the years. Do you still love watching the footy now?
I do. I hear these people say how the game's nowhere near as good as it was. Well, I don't agree with that. I think it's better. I know they're a different type of football. Probably pure footballers when I played, but they're now athletes. They turn into players. But look, they're so much fitter. They're so much faster. You get close to the ground, you hear them collide, and it's much tougher than we were dirtier. But I would say that these blokes, they're so much tougher and so much, because they're being looked after a hell of a lot more too.
Yeah. And what about Richmond's? Obviously had a great few years. What do you think their success is coming about?
Well, I think it came from the top. They got a good board in place. They got Benny Gale there, and their culture changed. And there's been some little things that have happened. But once upon a time they'd never even write those up. And you hear you hear the scribes say, "Oh, they shouldn't do this." You know, it's not a good look for football. Well, why do they keep playing it? Why do they, they're the ones who are playing the incident the whole time. You'd never see it when I was playing.
Yeah.
So, but I just think that they're terrific players, and I'm not saying that players of yesteryear wouldn't make it now, and same as the stars from today wouldn't have made it in the earlier days. But it keeps everyone on their seats. There's bigger crowds, far bigger crowds than there's ever been.
Yeah.
So look, it's very hard to compare eras, because I remember when I was playing, they used to say, "Oh, you're not as good as they were in the 40s," and evidently then they used to say, "You're not as good as they were in the 20s," and now they're saying not as good as they were in the 80s. So you can never win.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, out of the current players, who do you admire the most from Richmond?
I would say Trent Cotchin. I've never known anyone to go in as hard as him. And the only thing that lets him down is his kicking. But he's just an out-and-out champ and a champion person as well. He's a terrific player.
And obviously the Cats are going to win tomorrow. So what will the Tigers need to do to beat the Cats?
Probably play the same way as we did last time we touched it.
Yeah, it's very good.
No, look, I think that's going to be a very, very close game.
Yeah, definitely.
And I just hope it's dry so we can see the best of the best. And they are. They're the best of them. But both sides, they're by far the best.
Well, thanks for joining us today, Barry. I really appreciate you coming down. We've obviously done the COVID safe thing down here at the club. Of course, looking immaculate. I'm going to stick out for the first time in 3 months and have a look. So thanks very much for making the time. And
it's a pleasure, and thanks for having me.
No worries.
And thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was great. That was Barry Cameron, one of our, he's a lovely member, and obviously had a great career at Richmond over 8 seasons. I think played 108 odd games. He was telling me today, so it was great to have him on. And just to give it a little bit more Richmond sort of theme, there doesn't seem to be too many Richmond supporters down at our club. I think I ran into everyone that's a Richmond supporter down there today, but it's all good. We're going to move on now, and we've got a couple of rough fellas out the back here that I'll just bring on screen.
Rough nuts.
Yeah, good on you, Mossy.
Thanks, mate.
So we've got PW, Jack, Steve Goodwood, and I don't know how they got you, Russell. I thought it was Russell Wilkes.
I'll tell you the story.
I'm wondering
I
how
rang
I
up
might be still
to
in.
book the tea times, and I said to Russell, "Can you get these tea times?" Yeah, he said, "Yeah, no worries." I said, "What are you doing on that day?" He said, "I wouldn't mind raising some money." Gotcha. Straight in. Booked him.
Thanks.
So, Steve, I believe this was your idea originally. Is that correct?
Yeah, mate. It actually just popped up on my Facebook page, and I'd heard of it before, and I saw it. And the actual ultimate challenge is to play 72 holes in a day, and I said, "You've got to be bloody joking." But then it said, "Oh, you can play 54 or 36," and I thought 54 is still a real challenge. So I thought I wouldn't mind doing it. It's good, really good cause, of course. We've all been touched by the big C cancer. And I thought I want to pick some teammates who will struggle just as much as I will to play 54 holes. So I sent a message to Jack and PWJ straight away, and they jumped straight on board.
So, for people out there that don't know much about this, I know this has been around a few years now. So what is, so obviously cancer being, but is there a particular charity that it is for?
No, it's just run by the Cancer Council, and it's all about it mentions skin cancer in it, and the rate of skin cancer in guys, and especially guys our age, past their 50s and into their 60s and even 70s. So it's really particularly about that. As Jack said, we've got to get a bloody early tea time because we've got to go back to back 54 holes. I don't know how you could do 72 holes more from the light point of view, unless you're playing end of January and you hit off at 5:30 in the morning to start with, and probably finish about 9 o'clock at night. So We'll see how we go. I don't know if it'll be speed golf or what, but anyone who wants to volunteer to come and carry us around is most welcome on the Friday, the 4th of December.
That's very good. Well, Russell, tee times have been very topical, ain't we? How are these guys allowed to play 3 rounds in a day?
I think it's for a very, very good cause, Mossy, and I'd like to think by then we are back to normal. So I think everyone would agree that the cause will, we'll raise some considerable funds for the for cancer charity, and obviously, as was mentioned before, unfortunately, everyone would know somebody who has gone through obviously cancer. So if it's something that we can do, we will stay out of everyone's way. Trust me, we will. I'm not sure if we'll be putting out on every hole. I'm not sure how we'll go from that point of view. But, we'll have a bit of fun. So if anyone does want to come out and have a crack and a bit of a laugh, they're more than welcome.
So PW, is this because your better half is actually moving up to Echuca and you've got nothing to do at the moment, or what dragged you into this?
Well, mate, I'm always up for anything, you know that. But when Steve mentioned it, I didn't even hesitate. I just jumped straight in and said, "Yep, I'm up for it." Who else are we doing? And goes Jack. And I said, "I know Jack will want it." And then he said, "Well, let's get a 4th." And I said, "Well, Russell." And Jack goes, "Wilkes?" And I.
You know this is going to get back to Wilksy, so.
Yeah. No, mate, I'm really looking forward to it. I know I'm going to be sore, going to be really sore after that day. But mate, we're all taking a day off work. We're putting our best foot forward, and we hope everybody will contribute and donate to our cause. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, just click on the link and let's get some money up for cancer. It's a great cause. We all know someone who's had something one way or another, and let's get some money and raise, and let's just do it. Come on, guys.
So Jack, what are you actually? Have you got a target that you're actually aiming to raise?
Yeah, $3,000, or actually before, once we can get our GM to work out his IT and join the link and get in there. So at the moment, there's 3 of us sitting in there, and he's got no idea. But anyway, we'll work him out and get him in there. But it's, look, I mean, from my point of view, very, very passionate about raising funds for cancer research. My history, I've had cancer myself. I lost my wife 8 years ago to cancer, and my partner's husband to brain cancer. My niece had brain cancer. There's so many people in our lives that have had it. And to tell a little story, when I was diagnosed in 1987, 8 years before that, the famous Peter Crimmins had the same disease, and his chances of beating cancer at that stage were 1 in 5, a 20% cure rate. Between him getting it and me getting it, a drug was came along through all the research that was funded by donations, and it took the cure rate, luckily for me, to 98%. It was a massive story. So I mean, that came about from people putting their hands in their pocket just with a $1 coin or $2 coin here and there, and raising the funds that went into the research that saved my life, so I could still rob oxygen from all you guys 33 years down the track. And even talking about Sue, my wife, when she died of melanoma in 2012, we all know the story of Jared Ruffhead since. Along comes some new research, some new treatment, and lucky for him, he's still going from that. So this for us guys isn't about our fame and fortune in any way, shape, or form. It is purely for raising money, so that hopefully down the track it goes to saving other lives.
It's a great cause, and so the Box Hill members are always very generous, so I'm sure they'll jump on the website. Is there any other way we can help you out at all?
Probably journeys, ambulances, probably late in the day.
Maybe we could try and
out.
tee something up, Russ, at the in the club rooms after the game. We'll need a seat, I know that, and I don't know. Maybe we could try and raise some money in the clubhouse. Who knows?
Well, maybe we get a couple of items you might be able to raffle off or something like that to top up the kitty. So Ubi Park will put in a month's free parking for someone, so we'll kick it off.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Now I've got Hawthorn, couple of Hawthorn supporters here, which obviously Geelong's arch enemy, and I've got an Essendon and a St Kilda supporter. So I'm going to go around, maybe give us a tip for tomorrow, and what you think about the grand final. So I'll start with you, Jono.
Anyone but Richmond, mate. Surely, I'm sick of Richmond. I'm so over those supporters. They know who they are. Bring it on.
Jack?
Care factor. I'm just trying to work out who I want to lose more particularly, but I hope it's a good game. Like Barry said, I'm looking forward to the game. I think the biggest interest I've got tomorrow will be in Lavendi, Mossy. So, let's get that home at 26-1.
Have a little bit of chat about that in a sec, Jack. And Russell, obviously you would have backed Geelong, of course, wouldn't you?
Well, I did actually have a little nibble at Geelong, but I must admit, mate, I think it'll be Richmond, and I think they'll do it by 28 points, to be honest. So
28 points. I'll take that. I'll get 28 points in.
Oh, geez, we'll talk later.
No worries. And what about you, Steve? Good St Kilda man.
Yeah. Look, I have to. I can't go past Richmond. I still reckon it's like timing your run. They left those guys, Hooley and Edwards and those guys back in Melbourne, and didn't worry about them for about 10 weeks, and then said, okay, business end of the season, come start playing again, boys. And they've got their full squad. I reckon they've been in about third gear, to be honest, this final. So Richmond by 20.
Right. You guys can jump off.
All right.
So Lorraine obviously saying, is there still can still people from the club, if they want to play the 54 holes, can they get a group together and do the same thing?
Absolutely. Go to that website.
And
That's great. So it'd be good to get
didn't we? So yeah, look, if you got, we did actually throw out a challenge to the manager of golf, and fair income. Didn't he, Russell? Didn't he put his tail between his legs and take a run?
I bet he's
I think there might be.
Put it out to
There might
Heath
be a
to get
few
a team together. So if 3 people can get Heath together, wow, what a good challenge that would be.
Glenn in the pro shop did the 72-hole one a few years ago, so he would be keen if people would like to get a 72 golf hole lesson off Glenn. Get 3 of us together, and you'll have a ball.
Yeah, be good.
And I know he's working on something in the background, Jack. So I think you might have fired him up enough there.
Good.
So I might just have a little chat about Lavendi as you brought it up, Jack. So last run, the good 3 was a little bit hard for him, so he jarred up a little bit on that track. So I'm probably more excited about the horse race than I am about Geelong, because if Lavendi does happen to snag a win tomorrow, and I'm praying for some rain, he's a big chance to get in the Melbourne Cup, which would be super exciting for us. So he is a good chance. I spoke to Peter Galligatis today, the trainer. He's in peak condition. He's drawn barrier 1. He's getting out to the distance where he won a Group 1. So he won an Australian Derby at the same type of distance, and they are super excited. So let's hope he performs to that ability.
Good luck, Mossy.
Good luck, mate.
Yeah. 26.
We'll be on it. We'll be on it, mate.
Little bit each way wouldn't hurt, I want to think.
For sure.
Now Russell, I've had our captain go in and out of this broadcast in the back of us, but hopefully he's coming back in now and we can get this raffle done. Otherwise, I don't know if you've got a list there, because I
don't have the list.
There we go. Look, I'll see you guys a little bit later, and I'll get Chris in. So before he goes again.
Thanks, Mossy.
Thanks, Russ.
Yep.
Thanks, Mossy.
Appreciate it.
How we going, mate? You've been jumping in and out there at the back there. You're okay? Can you hear me, Chris? Chris, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mossy. Can you hear me?
I can now, mate. That's very good. Great. Well, I think we're back into it. So I'm going to bring up the raffle. Have you got the numbers there? Hang on a sec.
I've got, in the old-fashioned way, I've got the hard copy, Mossy.
You've got the hard copy. All right, we'll get the first number up. 823.
823.
For a $50 gourmet club voucher.
Yep. Jeffrey Senior.
Very good, Jeffrey. Well done. Second prize for a $50 gourmet voucher, 930.
Libby Thomas.
Well done, Libby. Third prize, still in the 900s, 903. Looking after you there, mate.
Joe Sykes.
Joe Sykes. Well done, Joe. Into the first bottle of wine, down in the low numbers, 45.
Michelle Barron.
Oh, well done, Michelle. Oh, still down there, mate. Number 77.
Paul Bilston.
Well done, Paul. And the last prize tonight, 117.
Hamish Burrell.
That's very good. Now, have you got any, anything for these members out here, mate, that they need to know about? Is there any questions, or should we get Russell back on? Is he gone?
No, apparently
I'll bring
that
Russell back
segment
in as well. It must be something from the club.
No, I must admit it.
That Ask
Sorry.
the Board segment hasn't been all that popular, Mossy. We haven't got too many questions.
Must be doing a good job, the board.
Well, they probably know we can't answer them anyway. So.
Well, we had Russell on tonight. That would have been perfect. He would have been. I thought I was in a bit of strife last week when I started talking about how we're returning to golf. Is there anything out down at the club? I know we had. A 240 odd golfers today, so that's obviously a great to get those sort of numbers through. And the 1T start seems to be working really well.
Yep. No, everything went really well this week, Mossy. As Chris indicated, the members were great with their bookings. We are going to hold out until, as I said, 3 o'clock on Sunday to send an email out to members. We're hoping that we're going to go to groups of 4. There's obviously no guarantee to that, but obviously groups of 4 is probably more enjoyable for our members. So we'll hold out, get that email out to everyone at 3 p.m. It'll be have all the information that you need to know for next week. And hopefully sooner rather than later, we can return to normal and start playing competitions again and, go from there.
That's awesome. Well, I might finish off with a multi, Chris, just because I just had one planned, as I knew you were on. So obviously we'll go with Lavendi tomorrow at $26. Like, how can you go past the $26? We're going to roll that into, guess what? The Cats, of course.
The Cats.
At the $2.10. That'll give us around $57, $58. Then we're going to roll that into the Storm to win the NRL Grand Final. It'll be about 110 to 1. Just have your $5 on that. You'll be able to pay for a bit of a party when we can actually have people around to our house. That'd be awesome.
That sounds pretty good, Mossy.
Well, thanks again. Thanks for the guys, and good luck with the raising the money for the longest. What was it? The longest day? Yeah, it will be a long day, 54 holes. And thanks, Russell, for jumping on and giving us a little bit more of an update from the club. And always a pleasure, Chris, doing the director's update.
Yeah, thanks, Mossy. Another very good night. Well done, mate.
All right, everyone, look after yourselves. Hopefully Sunday we'll hear that we're back to playing 4s and hopefully back to some normality. Hopefully we can get some people into the club next week. You know, hopefully hospitality opens up. Everyone look after themselves. Have a safe weekend, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you.
Good job, Mossy.
Bye, everybody.